Tonight, we delve into 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. This was released in 1989 to either acclaim or much cursing, depending on how you felt about it. It's a cleanup of the original 1st edition, although some people do criticize it a bit for leaving out certain things that were in 1st edition, like half-orcs and assassins. There was some behind-the-scenes stuff going on that you can go out and Google. The module that we are going to play tonight is House of Strahd. Thank you.
My favorite.
House of Strahd is an update of the original 1984 Ravenloft module. How is it updated, you might ask? Well, in more than rules.
How is it updated?
How is it updated?
I'm glad you asked.
Thanks.
And so, aside from conforming to the new 2nd edition rules, the titular vampire in the module has gotten a bit of an upgrade, seeing as he has gone from simply the big bad of the original Ravenloft module to the Dark Lord of an entire demi-plane.
Holy shit.
So, the characters that we will be delving tonight are of the 13th level of experience in their respective fields. We have a representative of each of the major slots in a D&D party. We have a priest. We have a rogue.
I'm a bard slot.
We have a monk.
Lies inside it.
And we have a barbarian.
That's right.
They are filling some of the various tropes. And so, let's get started. Your characters have been traveling together for quite some time, seeing as you are such an experienced group. In fact, you're so experienced that you're going to begin this adventure with something a little bit extra. This is the 2nd edition Dungeon Master's Guide. We're going to look at the random magic items table and see what's going on, because two of you already have a magic item on your sheets. That is the monk, who received a set of bracers of defense, because
Nice.
yes.
Because yes.
And the cleric, who received a magical hammer. Now the barbarian,
I don't get shit, do
I
I?
think,
cool.
would be very interested in a magic weapon.
Yeah, I bet you I need one. Wasn't there a chart where I could hit? Based on my level, I got to hit a certain level of undead. Or based on I could hit something that was otherwise unhittable because it required a specific bonus to my weapon, but because I was a barbarian, say at 9th level, I could hit +2.
That was true in the 1st edition,
Yes.
but they removed it in 2nd.
Fucking bullshit.
So,
Access.
let's see what kind of a weapon that our barbarian can start the game with.
Well, give me a
Give a dagger.
+3 battle axe. That would be fine.
Let's give a dagger.
All right.
Give me a +1
It'd be
dagger.
hilarious with the barbarian. It's like, I'm gonna stick you.
I got a dagger!
It's a nice dagger, though.
Toss a 20-sided die for me.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking blow
The
it.
first roll of the game.
I'm gonna. It's the first roll of the game.
You can do it.
14.
14. How about a +2 axe?
Sounds good to me.
Not quite as good as a +3, but
Cool.
better than a +1. It's
But
mathematical.
there's
That's
more.
cool, man.
All right, and so, for our bard,
Right.
let's be completely random because you are, after all,
A bard.
a bard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So roll up and get a portable hole.
All right, so the first thing I would like you to do is toss percentage dice.
Oh, okay.
What the hell are those?
Hold on a second. That's the one with like the 50 and
Yes, it is.
and the other one with just like the single digit, right?
We're generating a number.
What
Okay,
from
cool.
high?
Up to 100.
All right, well, watch out. Here I go. I rolled a 63.
63 goes to the armor and shields table.
Oh, right
So,
on.
hey, that could be useful.
Okay, cool.
All right, why don't you give me a d20 roll, please?
Sure thing. I rolled an 8.
Ooh, that's not good.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Magical leather armor. Roll another d20.
Oh, right on. Hold on. I rolled a 1. Is that bad?
Yeah.
You're going to re-roll that. I am not going to let you begin the game with cursed armor, as hilarious as that might be.
Oh, come on!
It's good for the story.
It might be like
Hold
plus
on.
5, but it's only plus 1 when it faces undead.
Sorry, I rolled a
That's
10. I'm okay with that.
Middle of the road.
That is a suit of +1 leather armor. What are you currently wearing for armor?
I'm currently wearing hide armor, it looks like. Full armor hide is already at it's a -4 my armor class.
Alright. So the leather armor, even with the +1, will not be quite as protective, but it will not hit your thief skills as hard.
Yeah. I'll need to
Do you want magic armor?
Okay, so here's can I like make a bag or something?
And what would that beg be?
All right, I how about instead that I just have a +1 saber sword? Because I don't have any like magical weapons at all. And if I went with that,
I
then
don't
I'd have
either,
to
but
like
that's
spend
fine.
all this time recalculating all of my rogue skills. Because, you know, it's easy for you, it's easy for me.
Let it not be said I am not a magnanimous game master.
Oh, cool.
Your request is granted,
Well, thank you.
because then we can get on with the adventure more quickly.
All right, cool.
Thank you,
thanks.
Dungeon Master.
You are welcome. So,
That means my THACO goes down like 1, right?
I mean, you could just tell him what he had to roll, and he could say he rolled it. He could lie.
that is entirely true.
So, like, if I got a THACO of 14, it would go down to 13, right?
In fact, you know what? I'll do you one better. Roll
No,
a
go up.
D20. Yeah.
Okay. Here's my D20.
Roll a D20.
Back to the game.
That's an 8.
That's been a while.
8. Okay, it's still +1. I wanted to give you a shot at the same shot the barbarian had of pulling a more exciting magic item.
This time I won't, like, hit something and it's useless because it's not magic.
All right.
A rapier of undead slaying.
Ooh.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes, but that would give away. No, all right. Let's get this adventure on the road, and it is on the road that you begin.
All right, well, I just
because-
want to say that I'm dressed in bronze plate mail. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm rail thin. Rail thin.
Okay.
And I got a lot of experience, by the way, in a 16-year-old, so I guess I've been up and down.
Right?
I can see it. He's, like, got his first kill when he was, like, a preschooler.
Right? Level 13 at 17. We've been
Dude.
through a lot.
That's pretty hardcore, man.
Our village got destroyed and we all had to band together. The greater good.
I was born on a battlefield.
You're like a Metallica song,
I was
man.
about to say, I think I've heard this before.
You're like,
I like to think that my guy is just wearing a very plain, like, long, brown robe. And he's got, what does he have? He has a stick that he walks with, and he's got some nunchucks on his belt.
Nice.
That's it. He's very simple.
Does he got a beard?
Nope.
Does he? How old is he?
He is 19. So you best respect your elders,
He's
sir.
got
Holy
scruff.
hell.
Respect your elders. I'm
All
almost
right.
dead.
Okay.
I'm not dead yet.
Tell us about the bard.
right. Now, Darvon is not what you normally, like, expect from a bard. He doesn't even use the term to describe himself that way. He's a courier. He's an attaché. You're not entirely sure what he does, but he's like from 2 kingdoms over. And right now he might be on a mission, but you don't know because he's like mysterious. But he's a friendly guy. He's human. Okay, yeah, he's like 6 feet. It says it's like 6 feet tall. It's pretty strong, so I'm gonna say he's like 180 pounds. Kind of experience he's got, I can't see him being like 19. So I'm like, he's like in his early 30s. He's like 32.
32. Shouldn't you be retired by now?
So, dude, don't you got some strappy pants on or something like that? You wearing pantaloons?
No, nothing like that. I mean,
Alright.
he's dressed for traveling, but it's all like really nice, like top end stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the equivalent of a bespoke, field coat, and he's that guy that actually wears puttees with his tweed +4s, except for the period, So there's like linen and like he's got actual boots. He doesn't need patents or anything.
What is your bardic instrument
Oh,
of choice?
that's the thing. It's like, so okay. Actually, what do you call that? What do you call that thing that you plunk on? What's that? What's that called?
Zither.
All right, so he's got one of those. He's got a zither, but he he might idly twink on it, when he's like, at a camp or
Pass it over
something.
to the bard there. Let him
Right?
futz around with it. It's got a few minor and a few major notes.
It's super cute.
Tell us of the cleric.
Cleric Kirsta. Lawful good. 17 years old. We're gonna bring her a little down from 6'5". Let's make her like 5'8", because then I know just about.
I am the
what I
shortest
can walk
person
under.
here.
Are you a halfling?
I'm a human, but I'm 5'6". Proud of it.
I'm not much taller than you are. Hey, when you're in the boots, we're probably about even.
He's got like elevator boots.
She's wearing full armor, split
boots?
mail, and she has a body shield.
Ooh.
I think she uses the bard for that. And soft boots, warhammer, among other things. My goodness, I'm packing. I look like I'm built to both do damage and sling spells once I learn what they are.
That is exactly what a 2nd edition cleric is for.
Which is fantastic. This is just my first magic user. I'm so excited. Yay! Trial by fire. Woo!
All right. So, you all know each other's capabilities quite well.
Shield.
Actually, 3 out of the 4 of the people in this party are capable of employing some type of magic. The cleric, of course, is mistress of the curative divine magics. The monk has access to much of the same, but from a different kind of angle, more mysticism and meditation. The bard has random access to various arcane spells that he doesn't quite understand exactly how they work, but if you say these words and waggle your fingers exactly so, something happens.
There's this thing I do with like sulfur and bat poop.
And you have a giant axe! So,
It's a +2 axe.
it's a +2 axe.
It's pretty serious.
What does
It's a
that
battle
mean?
axe.
That means that when the time for combat comes, you will add 2 points to both your...
that. I'm just saying in character, what the hell does +2 mean? Does it mean
In character,
cost twice as much? Is that what it's saying?
it
Yes.
could...
Twice as long? Is that?
It could come out in many ways.
Twice as
It
sharp.
could have been an ancestor's axe that has a name and is revered throughout your tribe.
All right.
It could simply be an axe you never have to sharpen because it maintains its own supernatural blade. Or it could look kind of shabby and rusty, but cleave the crap out of things when you swing it.
I like that better.
Can you call Buster your choppy buddy?
Buster, my choppy buddy. How about Choppy, my Buster buddy?
There you go.
So, these characters,
Choppy.
you are on the road. You have been traveling for several hours now. Earlier this morning, you were at a tavern on what you've been told is the old Svalich Road. You were given a letter. Since you're the courier, I'm going to hand you this letter, and you can tell the rest of the party what it says.
Very well, I accept. Ooh,
Spit it out already.
Hail to thee of might and valor, I, a lowly servant of the township of Barulia, send honor to thee. We plead for thy desperately needed assistance within our community. The love of my life, Frina Roliana,
Bless you.
has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our town cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for our time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. It also says Kolyan Indirovich, Burgo Master.
You may keep that.
I shall retain. Thank you.
That is on your person.
Thank
Sure,
you.
common is your first language.
I think so.
I do not care for material things, but I will help a person in need, I suppose.
And a little spare change for the tavern never hurts anyone.
Drinking is a sin.
I'm rather
I'll
excited.
drink yours.
All that I have shall be thine, he said.
From what you were told by the brightly dressed man who gave you that letter, and begged your indulgence. It's only 15 miles from the Weary Horse Inn to the gates of Barovia, but it feels like you've traveled much, much further than that. A mist never quite burned off this morning and has been getting thicker as the day goes on. The sun is diffused by the mist into an eerie gray glow. You can't see more than 60 or 70 feet off either side of the road. In the distance, you see something looming on the road ahead of you. As it slowly emerges from the fog and comes into focus, you see that it's an ancient gate. Jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, high stone buttresses loom up in a gray fog. Huge iron gates hang from the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two statues of armed guardians silently flank the gate. Their heads, missing from their shoulders, now lie among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence and the squeaking of one of the gates as it slowly wobbles in the wind.
We on horseback?
I wonder if I can cast oil for that gate.
You guys are experienced adventurers. I don't see why you wouldn't have a horse.
Well, I get off on horse.
Okay.
Walk over to one of them their heads on
Alright.
the ground. How big is it? Can I pick it up?
You can. It's heavy, but you are an extremely strong young man.
I can max press 280 pounds.
Exactly. So the stone head comes up easily.
Can I pick it up and put it back on the statue, or is the statue too tall?
The statue is just larger than man size, so reaching up, you're able to get the head back where it goes. But enough damage has been done to the neck where the head cracked off that it won't stay on its own.
Sad face.
Well, okay.
Children do enjoy playing with blocks after.
Can I climb up on
I
top
don't
of the
have men.
statue
Do you have
and then climb up the wall?
I'm
You
looking.
certainly could.
I'm looking.
What exactly is coming out of the gate?
Nothing's coming out of the gate. It's
Nothing?
just swinging
Just
in the
swinging
wind.
on.
I'll climb up on top of the
wind.
statue and then I'll try to climb up on the side of the castle walls.
All right.
You want me to roll climb percentage?
Roll a d20. You're looking to get equal to or less than your dexterity. Or your climbing proficiency.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
That's excellent. So, in 2nd edition AD&D, characters have non-weapon proficiencies. These represent skills and other talents that the characters may have. They are based on your ability scores, with each non-weapon proficiency attached to a score, such as climbing being attached to dexterity. The object is to roll equal to or less than the associated ability score. The lower you roll, the better you do. You are easily able to scramble up the statue, since it was carved with many straps and belts and pieces of armor, and there's even a shield hanging off one side. Scrambling up to the top of the statue, it's easy to climb on the buttress of stone behind it. From there, you actually have a little bit more visibility. You can see that the Svalich Road disappears to the north
Into more mist.
as it curves off to the northwest. The woods are dark and looming on both sides, and they seem to be very tightly packed with underbrush. As you're up there looking around, you hear the distant sound of a wolf howl. All 4 of your horses start to paw the ground and shift uncomfortably.
I'll grab the reins of his so it doesn't wander off.
Well, I'll get my bow out and I'll notch an arrow.
I want to make my way up to the ruin and try to determine, like, where it's from, if I would have any idea.
Excellent. Now, as I recall, you do have a proficiency in history.
I have healing.
I thought you had like a local history.
It's going to be under non-weapon proficiencies?
Yes.
It seems like with a cleric who's literate and a bard who's literate and a
Ancient-
monk who's literate, you guys will figure it out.
I have religion,
ancient languages, local history.
reading, writing.
Makes the cleric.
Are we
have-
from this area? Ish.
You've heard tales.
Okay.
I will allow you to make a check.
Cool.
So, do you have anything that you believe would apply?
Religion?
Give it a try. Roll a d20. You're going for equal to or less than that number next to religion, which should be your wisdom.
So 14. I got 14.
You got it exactly.
Equal to or less than.
You seem to remember something from your training in your faith. You seem to remember something about Barovia. Something going back centuries. That at one time, that area went by a different name. And it was a peaceful, quiet, idyllic little community with plenty of farmland, water. Actually a fairly pleasant place. But an army invaded centuries ago and claimed the land for a foreign lord. And since then, things haven't been quite the same. Your order used to, at one point, have a temple in this area. But it's been centuries since anyone has heard from it or manned it.
So these gates, are they openable? I mean, I'm up on the top of the parapet.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them
down.
There is nothing
Squeaking
securing
on
the
hinge,
gates.
so.
Well, so it's just blocking the road?
There's not even an associated wall. There's
Alright.
just these large stone columns with the guards and the gates across the road. You could easily walk right around.
Okay, well, I'm
to the
going to
other
climb
side.
down.
I say, is that
Give
any
you the reindeer horse.
is that any exposed writing of any sort? Regular markings? Anything at all?
In fact, there are.
Ooh! All right.
Language?
No, I was thinking cryptography.
Cryptography.
There's a hobby of mine.
Is that like you
Well,
studying dead people, like in crypts?
He
Well,
studies crypts.
Well, you know, it refers to things which are hidden.
Toss the die.
In this case, it's meaning and in language.
And Kirsta, toss the die for your ancient languages.
Okay.
So,
Equal to
I
or less
failed
than.
by 1. I rolled a 17 when I should have rolled a 16. I'm sorry.
Equal to or less than, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rubbish at this.
8. I am under by 2.
All right. The two of you put your heads together. Between your attempt to decode the writing and your knowledge of ancient tongues, you realize that this is actually a dialect of a trade language that you're all sort of familiar with. It's not quite common, but it's an archaic form of common. So, after adjusting for the strange alphabet, you could sort of understand it. It's a simple welcome to the kingdom of Barovia.
Neat.
Why would there be gates?
Speak
Well,
right
I'll go.
and enter.
I'll go up to the gate and I'll open the gate and we'll just pass on by.
All right, you push the gates open. They swing open with a creaking, rattling sound, and now the horses are actually really nervous. One of them starts to back away.
Well, I'll roll my animal handling proficiency. 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
The barbarian is naturally extremely adept at calming the
Because
horses.
he's the closest one to their species.
I thought this because he was a horse.
Dolphin.
I'm sorry, did I say
Doesn't
that?
even know how to read. I just might add.
All right. Calming the horses, you're able to ride through the old rusty gates and continue.
Wait. I'm going to close them.
Oh, you want to close?
That's very
the
polite.
gate.
Yes, I'm going to close them.
Oh.
And do we have any way of securing them? Guess you could just walk around them also. It's not
Yeah.
big
You
deal.
could.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just leave these friggin' gates. All right, this was an old entrance. I guess we're on our way.
I'll say thank you as we go through. I mean, it did say welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
never hurts to be polite to the universe.
I tip my hat to no one in particular.
They were squeaky. That's what
All
they
right.
were there for. They were there to squeak and squeal.
Yeah.
That means there's going to be some
would like to
wolves
keep,
attacking us now.
I would like to keep an eye out for maybe any
Wolves!
signs of my religion
Wolves.
of like their old monastery.
Woofs.
Oh.
There's woofs. There's woofs out here.
So,
Should have to-
as you are getting closer to the turn in the road, so Bo is up front. Are you guys riding two abreast, or?
Sure. I'll be up front with Bo.
All right, Bo and Kirsta are up front. That leaves Cade and Darvon in the rear rank.
For the ambush.
I shall walk with an eye
Squishy.
behind us to ensure that few things sneak up upon us.
You see, that's where something vaguely disturbing occurs.
Uh-oh.
You're keeping an eye on the gates as they recede into the fog, and suddenly they're veritably swallowed by the fog increasing in density. But it doesn't seem to be crawling any closer. It seems that the gates are obscured, and then this wall of fog starts to spread outward into the woods.
We're in it now.
Heavens, do you think perhaps we might seek shelter for the night?
No, let's keep going. It's not the night anyway, is it?
How
Not
could you
yet.
tell in a place like this?
Well, it's just
It's
misty.
fixing to
That's all.
look like it.
These guys scared of
Everyone
mists?
stay together.
First
Y'all
it
scared of mists?
At first it reminded me of home, but now it's something else entirely.
I can't even see the sun in this stuff.
All right.
It doesn't take you long to reach the next curve in the road, where the old Svalich road turns back to a true northern direction. In the distance, if you squint, you can make out the outskirts of a village. There's buildings up ahead.
There's buildings up ahead.
Very observant, as always.
Thank you.
Suppose we should go introduce ourselves.
I think we should just ride right through town, not talk to anybody. There's a bunch of weirdos living in this place.
Did the note say that these people that we were supposed to try and rescue were in Barovia proper?
We're supposed to rescue somebody?
Is that right?
This is by the hand of the burgomaster of the township of Barovia. So I suppose if we were to make to Barovia, we might ask him to further inform us. Perhaps we can catch a room from him for the night. What?
So let's see how far we've come.
I wouldn't mind some boiled eggs and some free beer myself.
As you start to ride towards the village, there's a break in the fog. It starts to get a little lighter, then a bit lighter, and by the time the old Svalich road turns from dirt to cobblestones, it's almost as if you're in an eye in the storm of fog. You can almost make out the sun in the sky, and it's getting lower and lower behind the mountains. Evening is coming on.
Do we still hear wolves?
No, but you do hear the sound of horse hooves and a wagon coming towards you.
Oh, so they're not coming up from behind, they're coming up ahead. Okay.
Like
Well-
they're coming from the town, I suppose.
You guys are at the outskirts of the town now.
Well, I suppose we should make our way in and see if this is indeed the place we're looking for.
True.
Oh, come on, it's gotta be.
What do the people look like who are on this cart that are heading towards us?
What
There's
town
only
called
a-
Barovia would be not in Barovia?
There is only a driver. He is hunched over his bench with his whip in hand. His two horses look thoroughly exhausted and beaten. You can't even really make out anything in the back of the wagon.
I hold up my hand and so, hey, old driver, where have you come from, if you don't mind me asking?
He looks up at you. He says, I am coming from the castle. He points northward.
Can we see any castle through mist?
The vague outline, far up a mountain, that kind of looms over the town in the distance.
Would we happen to have arrived in Barovia?
He smiles. Yes, this is the village of Barovia.
Perfect. Thank you.
He says, do I know you?
Oh, I'm afraid I've not made your acquaintance, sir.
We were asked by one of your patrons to come and help with the situation.
Situation.
Yes, but that knowledge is our own, I suppose. Good day.
Let's go into the town and check into the hotel.
I'm Darvon the Sociable. It was awfully nice to meet you.
Thank you for your help.
He stops his horses, turns over his shoulder, and says, evening is coming. You would do well to find shelter.
That's on.
Well, that guy's creepy.
Welcome to Barovia.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Gluka! Alright.
Thank you for playing. Goodbye.
Can't do it.
Alright.
I'm a terrible bard.
Moving further into town, you see that people are getting off the streets as quickly as possible.
Well,
Most of them.
Do these people look as terrible as the other guy?
Like sketchy?
No.
Starved.
Scrubby?
They don't look especially plump.
What is it? Anemic.
They look worried, and they look in a hurry to get their windows and doors barred. And
Well, so
and
do we.
get inside.
We want to be in a hurry to get inside.
I stop somebody in the street and I just say,
Don't talk to them.
why is everybody in such a rush? What are you scared of?
So this child looks up and he says, "It is nighttime, and in nighttime the wolves come."
Wolves. Yeah. What, just let
points
wolves
down
run
the
around
street.
town?
He says, "You are strangers. Safe place for you would be the Blood Tavern."
Yeah, that sounds safe to me.
I was kind of wondering what the common room was.
It's so safe sounding.
I kind of nod to him.
He points down the street, and you can see in the distance there's sort of a large, like the street opens up into a common.
Well, I'm for it then. I briskly stride in that direction.
All right, I follow the bard.
As you guys get closer to this place, you see there is in fact an inn and tavern, and hanging on the shingle, slowly waving back and forth in the wind, is a sign that
It says no vacancies.
used to say the blood of the vine, but someone has carved over the F with an N so that it now reads blood on the vine.
Oh, festive.
They've got a sense of humor in this town, don't they?
Stable attached to said building, perhaps?
Yeah, the one that the wolves can get
safe
into.
place for horses?
There is a mercantile across the street that appears to have an attached stable.
All right, we'll go put the horses in the stable.
Excuse me, sir. We
You
need
hold
to
money.
place our horses here for the night.
Gold?
We heard the wolves were coming.
The man says, "Wolves, yes, the wolves are gold."
Yeah, we'll give you gold and I'll shoot them wolves. I'm going to shoot some wolves and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be hanging out on the rooftop. I'm going to be shooting on these wolves.
We expect the finest care for our gold, sir.
I'm afraid probably once you're out, they won't let you back in. You might be camping on the roof all night.
Well,
He says,
that's all right.
"Well, if you don't plan to sleep in the same stables as your horses, you'd best get inside. Gold. I require one more for each horse."
Let's go
Bloody
ahead.
robbery. Oh, there you go, good man.
I give him my reins, and then I head into the tavern.
You hear him call his helper, "Perry, Perry, let's get the bars on the doors. Get these horses inside. Darkness is coming, boy."
What is it, like 14 packs of wolves coming down the road here in the
It's
middle of the
way
night?
they're
Nobody's got a
making
bow
it
and
out to
arrow?
be.
They all seem quite scared.
I'm off to the common room.
Perhaps they're dire
Yeah.
wolves?
Is there a window in the common room that looks out on the town square?
I'm sure they're barred up.
They are, in fact,
Barred windows.
not only are they barred on the outside,
Are they
but they've
annoying
got
as this one?
boards over them on the inside.
Well,
Can we still get in the front door of the tavern?
Yes.
Okay.
Although there is a bouncer, there is a rather large man standing next to the door just waiting to shut it.
Great.
I say, hold, please. Weary travelers looking for a place to stay.
Patrons for the night.
He waves you inside.
Thank you for your
And as-
hospitality.
Wordlessly, he nods. And then you hear the door shut with a sound of finality.
Ah.
And then there's a scrape and thud as a huge piece of wood is dropped into the bracket barring the door.
I have never been
Neat.
claustrophobic until this moment.
Need I say it? But I have a bad feeling about this.
so is this a two-story building?
I
Indeed
appreciate
it
the
is.
attention to security.
I'd like to get a room on the second floor,
Dinner.
Shoot some wolves.
shoot some wolves right out the window. Last time I checked, wolves can't climb.
So, you walk up to the bar. It takes a moment to get the bartender's attention.
Is it crowded?
I don't even try to get his
Not
attention.
really.
Who's getting the bartender's attention? Because
I
I'm not.
am.
I thought you were trying to rent a room.
I'll let the bard handle that. Second floor.
Hello, my good publican. Can you help us? We are looking for rooms for the night.
Second floor.
Your finest board, but we would like very much to be lodged upon the second floor, if you would, sir.
Second floor.
And food, please.
And yes, your finest board, please, as well.
You're not certain that he heard you for a moment because he's methodically cleaning a glass. He
How
stops.
clean does the glass look?
It looks pretty clean.
How about his fingers?
Then he sits it down.
They look clean.
I await his attention politely.
Something tells me you'll be waiting a long time.
And he looks around the room, taking in
I don't look
everyone
at
that's here.
he doesn't see my face.
Okay.
I don't make eye contact.
He says, second floor is the only rooms we have.
Perfect.
Marvelous.
How convenient.
How much gold do you carry?
That's a strong question. How much are you asking for?
Quite enough for our purposes, sir.
He narrows his eyes. He says, 15 gold.
Oh my
What?
For one night.
Security does not come cheap.
That is a big piece of wood in the door.
Okay, well, we all gather up 15 gold and give it to him.
Sold, I handle it. And that, yes.
It's like half of everything we have.
No, not me. What do you?
Oh,
I've got
poor.
I've got a few thousand acres back home. I think.
All right, so we go up to the second floor?
I'm broke.
Yes.
Okay.
Where is that?
I check out my room.
I'm looking for
Inventory.
gold.
Is there a window?
Inventory right hand side.
Oh, hey, yeah. I
There-
see
In
that.
fact,
There's a window?
there is a window. It's got bars on the outside,
Yeah.
and it looks like one of the caretakers has already put bars across the inside, but should you wish to remove them, you can look out
Yeah.
onto the common.
That's what I
Are
want
we
to do.
sharing a room with him?
That's what I want to do.
You only rented one room.
Oh, good.
Well, tell you what. I'm going to look around for a way onto the roof. So a way onto the roof.
Perhaps this is a bad idea. Just hear me
Alright.
out. If you do see wolves and you do shoot them and you draw the attention of them, then there's a greater chance of them all attempting to descend on our location and try and get in, which is putting innocent people in danger. Perhaps we should not go wolf hunting
I
tonight.
mean,
All right.
to be completely fair,
I
I
just
think we're
want
the
to be
only
able to-
ones here.
I'm just going to peek outside. Is what we'll put the wood back and set it up on nice, but I want to be able to be able to.
I want to
just
get a
peek.
look,
Yeah.
but I would rather not put what few patrons there might be inside this establishment in danger, if at all possible.
I couldn't bear if I accidentally caused the culinary demise of a complete stranger. I would feel badly.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to lay down on my bed. I'm going to wait for the big bad wolf
I am like
to come
neutral.
blow
My first
down.
instinct was my normal rogue feeling, which was, well, if he dies, I can get my gold.
Yeah.
But I'm lawful good and a cleric. I don't think that way.
No.
Alright, so evening has descended.
Indeed it has.
It would be good to get food and drink and wait for these wolves that are apparently going to be coming through.
Yeah, I'm going to catch a nap before the wolves come.
I would like to ask our bartender a few words, more information about the wolves and the area and where we might find this burgermeister in the
All right.
Before she heads downstairs, I'm going to tell you, they ain't going to tell you shit.
Everyone talks for money.
Take the
Eventually.
bard with you. He's overly friendly.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm Darvon the sociable.
There it is.
I mean,
That's beautiful.
we can all be the social. Yes.
So,
The,
you two are staying upstairs watching out for stuff.
Well, I'm taking
or
a
laying
nap.
down.
Yeah, I'm taking a nap.
I'm meditating.
Food and drink.
I don't care. My beard's getting longer.
I'm trying to sleep.
Okay.
Don't fight the barbarian.
Is he like floating, man? Okay, that would be cool.
See the
I'm actually just standing and hitting my head against the
That
wall.
all depends on which of the mushrooms and the iron rations you ate this afternoon.
Well,
Whoa.
one of them makes you sound like a stoner, and the other one makes you sound like you're from England.
Well, that's just I'm the player, right? But then you've got the character. The glossary. I should have. We should have a glossary or something. But
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, way to go.
So,
All
the
right.
two of you,
Yes.
you get down to the room and find that door is pretty much sealed for the night. And the people left in this room are 3 gentlemen who are seated by the door playing cards.
Do they have weapons on them or around them?
They do. In fact, one of them has a dagger in his hand by the blade, and he keeps spinning it on the end of his finger.
These people are twitchy.
It's like there's wolves attacking.
The bartender is
Not
still
yet.
there. One of the barmaids is cleaning up, and there's one patron left. He's slumped over a mug and just staring into it. He's carrying a sword,
He's saying too much.
and he's wearing what looks like it could be some form of light armor. He might be an adventurer like you.
This is one of those conversations that you're going to start and you're going to wish you're one out of in like 5 seconds.
Right? Because he's been drinking a lot. I'm sure he'll just
Wait,
keep
here's
going.
what's your character name again?
Darvon.
Here comes Darvon the Uncomfortable to make everything better.
Essentially, yes. Yes. I'm uncomfortably barehanded. At the very least, I'd like a drink, so I can, first of all get a bit of courage, and then, have something to.
Beautiful.
So the bartender is back to cleaning glasses.
17 gold
Oh
for
my god. Barmaid, does she look friendly?
She doesn't look unfriendly.
Don't tell that to
Okay.
the bard.
Don't get friendly with a barmaid.
What? No, I am Darvon the Outgoing. It is my calling to make myself welcome to others, and to make them welcome in return.
Welcome and get us drink, food, and information.
Yes. Hello, Miss. Yes. A bit of a custom, please. Yes. We are hungry. What is thy board? How much? Also, I am thirsty.
How much?
Also, how much?
Ale and stew, please.
Thank you. Yes.
Maybe some cheese if you have it.
A plate, a nice
She nods
array.
and, without saying anything else, goes back to the kitchen.
Basics.
Behold my eloquence.
Darvon the Elephant.
I am Darvon the Eloquent.
For the next 5 seconds.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Darvon the excessively wordy.
Darvon the ever-changing.
Darvon the Grandiloquent.
Please, it's just plain
Just
Darvon.
plain Darvon.
And so, within moments, the barmaid comes out with some meat that has clearly been done for a couple of hours. You guys did arrive late. But the cheeses look alright. The bread looks alright. And the ale is more than acceptable.
Sketchy like Golden Crown.
See what passes for beef aging in these parts.
I think it's gonna taste like beef jerky.
Let's find out. So I go over and liberally heap cold cuts and cheeses and bread, scrap of bread, and at least one, if he's going to look at all the mugs and fill them, the biggest one, and that's what I'll have.
I will break bread and create some kind of meat sandwich, because if I can't see the state the food is in, perhaps it will taste better if I'm not looking at it as hard.
The 3 men by the door are kind of giving you guys glances from time to time.
Check the money purse.
They seem fairly jovial. They're still joking and laughing and playing their card game.
Are they drinking?
No.
You catching any, side eye or anything?
Ask Darvon the Irresistible.
Do I feel are they, mad dogging us yet?
They're happy. They're
Not
jovial.
quite yet. And that's when you notice that the gentleman slumped over the mug is also kind of giving you a what are these two about look.
Oh, so he's alive.
He's alive, but it looks like he's been at the Gaffer's home brew for quite some time.
Oh, okay. Shall we?
Indeed, I will take my mug and I will stand and I'm going to say, greetings! We come here from afar, and we are new to your city, and would love to know more about you and your people and the fuzzy castle we saw in the distance, and these wolves that we keep hearing about. Is there any way we might assist you?
For a brief moment, my meditation is ruined because I know what she's doing.
'Cause you
She
hear-
does this all the time, and I'm just like,
the wars.
there it goes.
I bring the latest gossip and
Here it
intrigue
is.
from Suzale. If that sort of thing catches your fancy.
The three men by the door look at you until you're finished speaking, and then they go back to their card game. However, the man with the mug pushes slowly and unsteadily to his feet and walks across the common room to you,
Perfect.
thumping his hollow and mostly empty mug down on your table.
I'll refill it with mine and I'll ask for another.
He plants his hands and looks across the table at the two of you and says, "The castle. What do you want of the castle?"
I just saw it from a distance earlier. There was someone on a wagon who said they come from it. We are very, very new to your city.
I'm a tourist. I love seeing old castles.
He says, "No one here in the village would have claimed to come from the castle."
Except for they did claim to come from the castle.
Ooh, that chap. Ooh.
"Why are you here?"
Who does number two?
Well, we got a letter from the burgomaster of your village.
Asking for help.
He says,
We look to
"Letter
find him in
from
the
my father?"
Oh, yes, indeed, sir. This is
Is this familiar
script.
to you?
He takes it from you and says,
He's a damn compulsive letter writer. He's always just writing letters and singing them out, and we don't know what to do with
If
them.
I had to guess, he's dead.
Oh, willy-nilly.
He's got very consistent hands. You should be proud.
It's a beautiful font. I mean script.
It's almost like it was typed.
I am, after all, Darwin the literate.
he says, "This is not my father's hand. And my father's hand will not write again. He even now lays dead in his own home,
Oh, that's terrible.
where
I'm
he
so
has
sorry.
been for the past 3 days."
Are you sure he didn't write this letter perhaps before he was deceased?
He says, "That is not my father's hand. I know it well."
Do you know of whom this letter is referring?
He says, "Yes, it refers to my adopted sister, Irina Kolyana."
Do you actually, I mean, if it's not from him and it's not from you, are you in need of assistance with her?
He says, "I doubt there's any assistance you could be.
Well, we're here now.
The
might
devil
as well
himself is coming for her."
We've made a career out of solving other people's problems.
For pay, of
For
course.
pay, yes. For us, stupid.
May go to the gods.
He says, "You would extort my sister's life over gold."
Well, you gotta understand, we have operating expenses. Do you think this sort of excellence? All right.
Do you know
Look,
how much they asked for us to pay to stay
I'll-
here just for one night?
I love to help. I do. And you know what? I'm prepared to help you.
He holds up his hand.
All right.
He says, The evening is still young. Perhaps we can make the manor before they arrive."
Will they let us back out of here?
For the first time, the bartender looks up with an expression of concern.
For whom?
He says, "Ismark, you know better. You've had too much drink." Ismark says, "If these people can help Irina, we must get to her quickly."
I am Darvan the Swift-Footed.
He looks to the two of you and says, "You came in with others,
Yes.
friends?"
We paid quite a handsome sum to stay here the night.
He says, "Gold, gold, always gold." He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a handful of local coin and grabs your wrist and dumps it in your hand and says, there is for your lodging. Now we must go.
Actually, it's for the gods, but thank you. I'm sure it will be set to good purpose.
It's going to feed orphans.
Actually, I've got to pay off my Poflagerate debts.
He says.
As you like say that like in your sleep.
He says.
Flagerate.
He says the gods. The gods are as besieged as the rest of this cursed place.
Oh,
Out of character. Do I feel my gods?
Softly die.
Gods. Reach out and touch someone.
So,
Gods?
I'm going to suggest that they come upstairs and they get us.
Right, exactly.
And we come back downstairs.
Yes. So
Yes.
you guys, they have
That's
come
much better.
and woke you guys
We're
up.
going to make it to the manor.
Yes.
All right.
So you guys find
They
yourselves.
actually let us out.
They let you out,
I take my food to go.
she got her sandwich.
and as soon as the last one of you is out the door, in fact,
Roll for wolves.
Ismark the rear guard is pushed out of the door by the door itself.
Yes.
Clong! And you hear the sound of the bars going back in place.
Why are you people so paranoid?
Because they got wolves.
Look,
The man-
we've
They
heard,
obviously have a wolf problem
we have
here.
heard a wolf the entire trip here.
Well, you hear one, there's probably like 12.
The man draws his sword and says, "Enough bickering, we must go."
All right. You need our horses?
He says, "We won't be able to get them.
All right. Let's go.
I
I'm gonna.
hold a small chalk.
There's no way Bildrath is going to open up at this hour. We must go."
All right. We'll follow this guy. What's he going to take us around to the back and
I think he's taking us to his home.
His man.
All right, you are heading down the street that runs
Quickly.
due west
Very quickly.
from the inn.
I will fill them in on the information we received about the gentleman who apparently is dead and did not send us this letter, but signed it with the gentleman who is dead. And
right.
that we are apparently still going to get paid, in theory, to try and help find this girl.
All right.
All right.
I got my axe out. I'm ready for
Honestly,
action.
I'm doing quite well with investments. I'm prepared to help first and dig at other prices later. It's very sinister, don't you think?
Indeed.
As you were all shuffling down the street, moving at the highest speed you can maintain,
Where do we find that?
A brisk peregrination.
it's usually your move is usually rated as 12. It'll say MV or move and then a number.
Right, we're heading toward the manor.
12.
Yes, in fact you are.
Cool, man.
Cool, man.
You can see the manor at the end of the street, just outside the last pair of buildings flanking the cobblestones. As you're shuffling forward, 4 large wolves step out, 2 from either side, and stand shoulder to shoulder across the road.
That's very planned.
Well, I guess I'm going first.
All right.
I'll run into the midst of them.
And
Well,
use-
here-
and use animal handling.
Is where I explain to you guys how combat works in this new 2nd edition of D&D.
Ooh.
So, initiative is no longer a 6-sided die. We're going to do it differently this time.
D10. I
Whoa.
believe.
Yes, I would like everybody to warm up their D10s.
Ooh.
All right, the standard initiative procedure. All right, so we can use separate initiative where everybody gets their own, or we could go by teams, whichever you guys would like to do. The procedure is pretty simple either way.
Do we re-roll each round?
Each round.
Yep. I'm going to use my own. They can
Yeah.
go all 3 go at once. But I said immediately
We're
I
all
was
using-
running up
we're all
there.
using
Yeah.
our own.
Okay, so
I just charge in there.
Hey, you guys!
I rolled a 10 for my initiative.
all right, excellent.
You don't add anything to it?
All right, getting to that.
I rolled
So-
a
No
1.
one.
That doesn't sound good.
You're like sitting there going, duh.
If you are attacking with a weapon, you
Yeah.
add the speed of the weapon to your initiative roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Is anyone casting? If you're casting, you add the casting time.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You go for it. Magic Missile casts at speed of 1, I believe. That's
Yeah.
a fast
It's
spell.
pretty much per spell, isn't it?
Okay.
Do we need to go in initiative order?
Oh,
or
we
are
have
just
this-
saying what we're
the
doing?
Yes, we will, and I'll tell you. Well, you have to tell me what you're doing to know what your initiative's final number is.
Oh.
Oh, magic missile's quick, man.
Yeah, it's a 1.
It's a 1. Yeah, that's a fast.
I've got a 19 altogether.
Okay.
I would like to cast Bless on everyone in our 50-foot cube, including NPC dude.
Excellent. So what is your initiative if you add the casting time of Bless?
Casting time is 1 round, and I rolled an 8, so the total is 9.
So it takes a full round.
That's what it says. I'm
All
in
right.
the back.
So Bless will go off next round.
Okay. And the duration is 6 rounds.
All right. So here we go, guys. The wolves have
They go fast.
an initiative of 11. So who's got a low number? Does anybody have below 10?
I do.
You act first.
Oh, okay, so I rolled a 1. That means I go, like, really, like, first, right?
Yes.
Alright. So I perform an arcane hand maneuver and say, Zot! And a bright cluster of bolts zips forth from my betwisted hands.
How many bolts and where are you directing them? There are 4. Count them, 4 of these giant wolves.
Ooh, marvelous. I believe I shall focus all of my arcane energy upon one. I don't know how many, though. I am a 13th level. What does that mean for a bard? Is it the same as a wizard?
Indeed it is.
Ooh.
And so, your character sheet should tell you.
Under
hold on.
combat.
Oh.
However, you don't have to roll Thaco for a magic missile.
No.
No, it hits. It's the
that's simply
damage
hit.
that he's asking me about.
I think it does
1 to 5
1d4.
targets, so that's 5 missiles.
So 1d4 plus 1 for each missile.
Alright.
So that would be 5d4 plus 5.
Marvelous! Here's my first. 4. Hold on. 4. Oh, no, that would be a 5. Bloody hell! That's because I rolled it. Hold on, I'm sorry. Sorry, dreadfully sorry. There we go. Alright, second one is a 3. Third one is a 2. Fourth one is a 3. And the last one is a 3. Right, so that's 6, 8, 11, 16 points of damage.
Excellent. All right. The scintillating darts flash into which one? One in the flank, one of the ones in the middle?
One of the ones in the middle.
Excellent. Into one of the large wolves. There's a smell of burning hair, and the wolf yelps almost like a kicked dog as it leaps backwards away from you and starts to growl and slaver. All right. So that was initiative
1.
All right, anybody else 10 or below?
I got a 7.
You are going next. Remember, if you attack unarmed, you get 2 attacks per round.
Which is what I'm going to go for. Am I close enough to get to them?
Yes, you are.
Alright, I will move forward as quickly as possible, and I guess the one that he struck moved back.
Sure. Yes, it did.
So would I have to move past the other wolves to get to him?
Yes, but you know what? You have a proficiency there called Tumble.
Yep.
For the sake of cinematics, if you'd like to make a tumble check,
Oh yes.
I would allow
so
you
It says my proficiency is 17. Now would
17 or less on a 20-sided die.
anybody can mess it up? It's me. 3.
All right, so you are able to like jump, kind of tuck and roll, run off the back of another wolf, and
Hit.
go.
And now attacking in this will be a d20 as well,
Yes.
and I will be striking with my fancy dancy target.
Yes.
All right, so I'm rolling a 20 and I'm adding 1 to it.
Yes.
So that is a 10. So
And what's your Thaco? Is a 12. That means you hit armor class 2, which solidly strikes the wolf.
right.
So look it up on your martial art chart.
Which is a body punch.
Nice.
That sounds just rough.
So
it does.
It does 2 because it's 1 plus 1. So
Right.
It's 2.
It does 2 damage
Right.
and has a percentage chance of knocking the creature unconscious.
Yes.
So roll your percentage dice. And then make your next attack.
Percentage dice. Nope.
All right. Go ahead and roll your second attack since you're coming in there with a
2.
2. That's going to miss. With a THAC0 of 12, you hit armor class 10, and I'm afraid they're a little harder to hit than that.
Right.
All right, so your 2 attacks have happened, and that was on 7.
7.
All right, 8, 9, 10, and on 11. 8.
But you're
casting, and it's a full round cast.
Yeah.
So you have to get to the end of this round without being...
Just letting you know.
Okay. All right. The giant axe is coming.
19. Yeah.
It's kind of a slow weapon.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Good, I'm in the middle of wolves.
Here come the wolveses. All right, the wolves...
Cuddle me, because I'm so adorable.
2 of them are going to go after Cade.
Good.
Each wolf only gets 1 attack per round.
It's nice knowing you, old boy. Good luck.
Have fun storming the castle.
The wolves are 4+ hit die creatures, which gives them a THAC0 of 17. Okay. Armor class 3 and a natural 1. So neither of them hit. As I recall, your armor class is 2.
Yes, my armor class is... Where is
2.
it?
2. It should be.
Probably.
I thought it was. Because you have bracers of defense plus a dex
yes,
bonus.
there it is. Yes, it's 4.
4.
AC is 4.
6.
It's still a miss, but just barely.
I think those are his 8. Those are his bracers are 4.
Yeah, the bracers are 4. I thought you had a dex bonus too.
Oh, I do. Where's the total for this going to be?
See, here, combat, last line, final.
Oh, 1.
Oh, armor class 1. That's even better. All right, so the wolves try to get you, and you're just too fast. You're dodging back and forth as they leap and paw and bite. So let's see who the other 2 wolves go for.
Come on, go for me.
There's a 50-50 chance they go for either of you since you're in the back.
Oh, dear.
1 each.
Woot.
All right, so the wolf that is going after Darvon the Tasty. Armor class 0. That's a hit.
Ooh.
Is it not?
Mine is armor class is a 3.
All right. Oh, Darvon.
Fine.
One of the dire wolves gets you in the arm and sinks its teeth in for 6 damage.
Youch!
The other one is going after Bo. Armor class 5 is going to miss.
That's right.
Darvon the
All right.
Sanguinating.
Now, I believe we get down to Bo, who has 3 attacks this round.
You know,
I get 3 attacks starting out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
For somebody who rushed in first, it took him a long time to get there.
There's 18, 3, the 18 hit. The 18 hits. What's their AC?
6.
I don't think the 3 hits. Oh, I get.
Yeah, what's your THAC0?
2 misses. My THAC0 is 8.
And you rolled a 3, that's a difference of 5. They have an AC 6 that actually does hit.
Oh, yeah, so I hit 3 times.
Yeah, you are a beast.
Okay. First one I do 15. Are they large?
The dire wolves are large-sized creatures, yes.
Right. So the first one, I think I drop. I do 23 hit points of damage.
So close. It's still alive, but not by much.
All right. Well, then the next one, I do 11 plus 7 is 18 hit points of damage.
You're tearing them up.
And then the next one, can I hit 3?
You can, or you can hit one of the other 2 twice.
I'll hit one of the other 2 twice. I'll hit the for another 19 hit points of damage.
That's a dead one.
Yeah.
All right, one of the dwarves, one of the dire wolves has gone completely down in the dust. Another one is limping backwards, trailing blood across the cobblestone streets.
Yeah.
One is firmly planted in your arm, and the other one that you originally attacked is still kind of trying to stare you down.
Initiative die roll, right?
Yes. Roll initiative.
Roll
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I'm
Beautiful
going last.
bean footage. And this is where it gets interesting. 15 and 8.
I got a 5.
I got a 4.
My combined total with weapon speed factor is a 9.
Okay.
Oh, 8 with weapon speed.
I'm last.
I believe. What was your initiative last round?
8.
8. On 8,
No,
your spell
9 with
takes
the
effect.
bless.
On 9, your spell takes effect this round.
Well,
Because it's a full round cast.
So I have a question.
Yes.
In the book, it says if somebody is already in combat, it doesn't do anything for them. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that bless affects.
Yep, that would be true of this version of Bless.
However, affects only those not already engaged in melee combat.
You tend to throw the Bless before the axes start swinging.
Which is what I was attempting to do. Okay.
It'll be faster.
Too late now. This is what I get for never playing a magic user before.
Maybe something bad. Maybe something good.
That's alright.
I guess we'll never know.
It's hardcore, man. I like hardcore.
It'll help.
Alright.
It helps me.
All right, so,
On 9, my bless goes off for me. Oh, and no, is NPC dude fighting? Did he get a turn?
thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
He had his sword out. He is going to attempt to dispatch the wolf that you brought to death's door.
He was rocking out with
excellent.
his sword out.
Wow. Rolled a 19. And as the wolf had but 1 hit point left,
Woot. 2 down.
Ismark the Lesser swings his sword and takes the head off of the wolf, looking much more heroic than he actually is.
He's much better than the barbarian. He at least killed him.
Aw.
That is what we call a kill steal.
Aw. Very familiar.
I get the
battle
XP
type.
for that, right? So, bringing us back to this round. Your bless goes off. Does anybody have anything below an 8?
I have a 5.
I have an 8 on the dot if I'm going to be able to use my Warhammer.
Yes. So you're below that?
Mm-hmm,
So you may go first.
I will strike him again with my fisticuffs.
Fists of Fury.
So 14.
So your Thaco is 12, right?
Yes.
That means you need to get at least a total of 6 to hit this guy.
Mm,
Because he's an AC 6. 12 minus 6, 6. That's what you need.
gotcha.
You can do it, man.
So much math in these older versions.
Only there is a simpler way. Maybe they'll think of something.
Right? Foreshadowing?
So the first one I
don't
believe
know.
misses then. It's 13 plus.
All right. No, that would hit.
No,
if
that
you
would
rolled
hit.
a 13,
Yes,
that
I
would
rolled
hit.
13.
So,
That's actually 14 with my bonus.
yes, which
So it's
is?
an elbow shot.
Back.
Then that's 1 damage and then a
Remember, you get the 1 bonus from your martial arts, so that's at least 2.
2.
Okay.
And then the 1% chance that I will. Nope.
All right, and your second attack?
I'm not dead.
It's a 1.
That's a miss.
At least that's the
Yes.
same.
All right, so thunk. All right, on 8,
8.
2 things occur.
Nope. 9 is for the blesses.
Okay. 2 things occur.
Okay.
You may now attack with your Warhammer, but you also, being in the back of the party, realize there are 4 more wolves that have just come into the street behind all of you.
Gentlemen, this is a good time to run. Run.
Hell no!
We have extra company.
I think you might be right.
Run,
I think
run.
we're cleaning this town up with wolves. They're going to love us after we're done
If
hacking these
we're
things to death.
Still here.
Well, you go ahead and run. I'll take them on.
Hold
It's
on.
gonna end poorly. Alright. I would like to use my Warhammer to bash in the head of the one attached to his arm, which will pretty much just push the teeth in further. We can take them out later.
Go for it.
I can heal him. Alright. How does this work?
So what does it say your Thaco is with the Warhammer?
Thaco missile
Under combat.
melee?
Melee. Help her out.
Next to the weapon?
Combat.
Yes, next to the weapon.
Oh, it's
Oh,
next
yes,
to
so
it.
Or
it
not
is.
under combat? Or is it the one
No.
under the weapon? 10?
10, great.
But the one up
That's
here
it.
under
It's the
combat
only
is
weapon.
12.
Her only weapon is the Warhammer, which has a Thaco of 10.
10. That's
Okay.
what you're, for that weapon is
Okay.
what you. So what you're going to do is roll a d20. These things have an armor class of 6, meaning you need a 4 or better on the die to strike.
Okay, so I ignore what's under the combat section where it says it's 12.
That's your standard Thaco. You know how to use the hammer, and they calculated the +2 magic bonus.
Got it.
That's why it's a 10.
Roger, Roger. Much grass, thank you. Hey. 7.
Oh,
That's a hit.
It is.
Yeah.
Math.
That's right. Yes, you roll
10
low.
minus the
Backwards
armor
math.
class of 6 is 4. All she needed was a 4.
Yep.
So you hit. Roll damage.
Thank you for backwards math.
The damage on the Warhammer should be
1d, it's, I don't know.
One D. It would
Am I
be
small or large?
1d6 plus
These are
2.
large creatures.
A 1d8.
So it's what I'm going against?
Yes.
Yeah, it says damage is 1d4 plus 2 for my Warhammer plus 2.
So roll it.
Height. Mexican jumping back. But wait, there's more.
Where'd it go?
On the other side of your team.
It's all right. You don't need to get it.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll get it later.
Height. I rolled a 3. 3 plus 2, because these creatures are large, is a 5.
5 damage on the one that's attached to his arm?
Yes. I tried to sink the teeth in further, but also crush its skull in the process.
Excellent!
You're welcome!
Alright, you basically, with a little bit of pain on your part, knock the wolf off.
Thank you.
Marvelous.
Thank you
It
for your
rolls to the dust
contribution.
and comes back up on its feet, with your blood dripping from its fangs.
I think it likes you.
Now it's my turn.
Now you're blood brothers.
Actually, on 8 is when the wolves behind you act.
What wolf
Right.
behind me?
Exactly.
That's what I said. Hey, you guys.
Hey,
So,
guys!
The wolves that you can clearly see are stalking up the cobblestone streets, shoulder to shoulder, almost as if they're marching.
We're hunting.
Okay.
All right.
Human.
And my bless goes off, which
I
doesn't
know-
do me any good right
I
now.
know exactly what to do.
They could be moving a lot faster, but they're not.
What is
All right, your action.
All right. I managed. I think. Let's see if I can do this again. And I slap my hands together, and the temperature around them drops sharply. Ice crystals form in the air, and I stretch my hands out and say, "That will be enough of that." And throw up a wall of ice stretching from one side of the street to the other, effectively blocking off that second group of wolves.
Outstanding. The ice wall leaps into the air and thwarts the other 4 wolves.
Woo!
All right, that was on 9,
Yes.
10. Anybody between 10 and 15? All right, on 15, the original group of wolves, of which there are only 2 left, attack. So, the wolf you're working on attempts to get you back for punching and kicking it.
Well,
It hits
I-
armor
I-
class 3,
I elbowed it and punched it,
which is a miss.
which is a miss.
And the second wolf that she just knocked off of you decides to leap toward you, foolishly thinking you're the easier target. It rolls a 19, which is...
It hits.
Okay. So, that is 5 whole damage. Yeah, neg 2 on that one. I'm a little slow on the math. All right, so that one hits. The other 4 are frantically scratching at the ice. All right,
Can they
that
look at
leaves
inside?
your action.
All right, so there's 2 wolves.
Indeed, there are.
I'll kill one.
So confident.
That's 18 hit points damage to the wolf that was biting his hand.
All right, that one goes down.
And
That's
then there's that one
amazing.
left over there that just attacked me. So 4 hit? 3 hits, so 4 hits.
Yes, 4 hits.
That's a 14 plus
Yes.
7, which is 21.
It had 4. All right, so the initial 4 wolves are down.
I'm done.
The other wolves are clawing at the ice wall. Ismark the Lesser points his sword at the house and yells, "Go!"
Time to go.
You don't have to tell me twice, old boy.
Run.
I'm running.
All right.
For
You
some reason, I
run.
imagine we all take off running, and somehow the bard is faster than all of us this
Right?
time.
All right.
There's a little
He's
dust
like,
cloud left behind me.
You're like the Jesus lizard.
Yeah. He's just really
Long
far in
legs.
front. We're like, wow, he moves really fast when he's been bitten by a wolf. Strange.
As you guys are charging towards this mansion, you don't have a lot of time to take in details, but there's enough time to notice there are scorch marks on the walls. There are claw marks in all of the wooden facings. The support posts for the porch, the door itself, and the frame around the door, big dire wolf-sized claw marks.
They've been trying to get in.
Okay.
As you get through the door, Ismark slams it and reaches for the bar.
I
Yeah.
help him.
Help.
As soon as the door is barred and things are quiet for a moment, you see a woman enter the room. She's got a sword in her hand. She's breathtakingly beautiful.
Oh, hello. I am Darvan the Cordial. It's awfully nice to meet you. Sorry to impose, but we almost got attacked by wolves.
See? As you bleed on her floor.
Sorry.
Let me take care of that.
Thanks. I don't want to be Darvon the exsanguinating on someone else's carpet now, do I?
Sanguinating before the...
Is he always this loud?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
By the way, how many wolves do you think are out there? Because we killed 4.
To be fair, he killed 4.
It depends. From night to night. Sometimes there are a handful, sometimes there's a whole herd of them. A pack of wolves. They attack. Testing each wall of the house. She points around with her sword, looking for the weak points. And now we are even less protected than we were before.
Is this house made out of stone?
It is.
Does she look ill?
She does look like she's putting on a show of feeling better than she is. She's certainly a little less steady than she wants you to believe, and she's very pale.
So I like come up with like my hands in the robe and I like bow and I say, I couldn't help but notice that you don't look too well, madam.
She says, I am fine.
So we got here under false pretenses.
Your father sent for us.
Or
Well,
somebody
allegedly-
claiming to be your father.
We heard secondhand that the note that we were allegedly sent by your father was actually not his handwriting. So we were brought here by some other force, probably. But I'm here to kill wolves. If y'all want me to kill wolves, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I'm okay with you opening the door and letting him out, honestly.
He would like to go have a go of it.
He would have a great time.
Yeah,
Hey, you
kill
wanted
wolves.
to kill wolves. You've killed quite a few this evening.
He's quite suited to the task.
Her brother has crossed to the other side of the room and is pouring himself a drink. He says, there will be no more opening the door tonight.
Sounds perfect.
Does it sound like the house is being scratched and mauled at yet?
At the moment, no.
My name is Kirsta, and it is a pleasure to meet you both. If you'll excuse me, and I want to do Cure Light Wounds on him. Is there anything I add to it, or is it just a straight 1d8?
Well, you could do cure moderate or cure critical.
You have
How
several.
many are you down?
Oh, I'm only down 6.
Light,
Be
light,
cure
light
moderate.
should work.
I mean, Cure Light is up to 8. I was just wondering if I added anything to the dice roll.
I believe it's 1d8 plus 1.
It's 1d8 plus 1.
Okay.
It's too light.
Too light?
Mm.
Wait. 3.
See,
Oh, well,
never
that's
enough.
good enough.
Never enough.
Never know.
Never.
Is the angle.
You're not
Alright.
bleeding as much.
You
No,
have
it's
a list
Oh,
of spells in the back of your character sheet that has brief descriptions. It should tell you how much healing each type of cure is.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm
Moderate's 2d8.
I would like to cast Detect Evil.
the front door
Excellent
just
idea.
blazes.
You cast Detect Evil.
As
All right.
unnoticeably as possible.
You
Yeah.
have never experienced anything quite like the initial wave that hits you.
I like touch the wall and like take a knee.
It's almost as if your first impression of reaching out to detect evil, you're hit like a hammer. Initially it feels like everything's evil, and then it starts to sort of focus for you, and you realize this house is fairly safe. Irina Kolyana and her brother Ismark are fairly safe, though she has almost a lingering scent of evil about her. Not coming from her, but something that's tainted her. But everything outside these walls just seethes. And it all seems to be flowing into the city from the castle on the mountain.
I said, boy, you alright?
I
Do you
kind
need
of
some help?
take a minute and I stand up and I look at her and I go, you must tell us everything. This is overwhelming and must be dealt with, the evil in this place.
Her brother drains his glass, starts to refill it, and says, Strahd.
Who?
The devil Strahd, who lives in the castle. He points. She says, I am afraid my brother is correct. Count Strahd von Zerevik rules these lands. He lives in the castle. He has taken something of an interest in our home. He killed my father. He stole our holy relic. And each night his forces assault these walls, just as they assault the homes in the village. There's not much we can do to protect the villagers except advise them to do as they are doing. Hide in their homes, bar the doors. Occasionally that is not enough.
And what is his interest in you, my lady?
The brother says that's what I'd like to know.
I do command performances. Would you like to hear the news from Suzanne?
Everyone sort of stares at you for a moment.
No.
All right. Thanks anyway.
She says, it is beginning to get to the point where I believe my brother and I should try to gather whatever stout swords and true we can find and assault the castle and destroy the Devil's Strahd.
Well, it sounds like a good idea. When we got us here, we just go up there and kick his, behind.
We've done it a time or two.
If
I say we do it in the morning, though. Right?
So we've been together a while,
Yes.
and we've fought in a lot of things. This is probably the worst thing we've ever done, from what I can tell from a detective.
You have felt evil creatures.
Mm-hmm.
You have felt evil people. You have never felt evil pouring like a waterfall out of a place.
I kind of look around. I go, "This foe may be more than anything we've ever had to deal with before, friends. Rest may be good, and even help from villagers if they are strong enough. Maybe a distraction."
Well, he might not be expecting an assault right now.
Well, I'm already 3 drinks in. I don't know how much good I'm going to be in a fight.
So far, you're doing great.
I do not mean
Thanks.
to be rude, but how did your father die?
She says, follow me. She takes you into a room that was obviously the formal dining room, and her father's body is laid out. You can smell like the heavy smell of spices and herbs and preservatives.
He seasoned.
Mm-hmm. She says, I have asked my brother to bury father, but he has not found the strength.
What killed him?
She pulls back the linen that they've got covering his body, and you can see that he was savaged by probably the wolves.
Raised dead is out. I was gonna offer, now I'm not.
Definitely dead.
Could I cure him being dead before I raise him? To put him back together? Is that a thing?
He's not dismembered. He's shredded, but he's not dismembered.
Sure, but if I bring him back to life while his throat's still out, I'm pretty sure he'll die again. Can you cure a body that's already dead?
As long as you've got all the parts, you can attempt to raise him if you want.
I mean, he looks like he's whole,
Would
but
that be raising him to undead status?
I mean, no. It says raised dead, like, you know,
Right?
Angel and shit.
Presumably, it
If he
would
survives.
seal such wounds as
What?
long as he is not completely missing arms, legs, head. You could give it a try.
My lady.
What is the casting time on Raised Dead?
It says 1 round.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay. If you would like to cast,
I would like to get permission from the family first.
Irina says, you can bring father back?
It is possible he may not survive the process, but then you've already lost him. But I'm at least willing to try.
She says, that sort of power from the gods has not been seen in this place in many years.
I noticed since we came here that it is harder for me to feel my gods, but I would at least like to try for the benefit of your family.
Very well.
So, before we all start shaking chicken bones at each other, I have a question.
It's insulting.
So if he comes back and he tries to eat my face, is it alright if I kill him again?
Ismark just kind of stares at you, mouth open.
I'm sorry, we've been around a bit. It could happen.
And Irina,
Stop!
Sorry.
Stop! You're not helping their situation.
I'm trying.
You're not.
I am Darvon the Silent.
Dive on the inappropriate.
That never.
Darvon the inappropriate,
never lasts. That does though.
Darvon the morbid,
Darvon the pragmatic, thank you. Darvon the reasonably cautious.
It says they have to survive being raised.
yes. I will roll that.
The raised
So-
person must make a successful resurrection survival check to survive the ordeal. See Table 3, Constitution.
Indeed, in
And
this
loses
version
1 point
of Dungeons and
Constitution.
Dragons, there is an actual percentage associated with your Constitution score to see if you survive being resurrected, just like there is a system shock roll to see if you survive being polymorphed. Things happening to your body are not always survived, and you may only be resurrected once for each point of your Constitution score.
So if you have a constitution of 12, you can get resurrected
12
12
times.
times.
You'd have to be a really bad adventurer, wouldn't you?
And then, when you need to be resurrected a 13th
But I'm
time,
not dead
the
yet.
writers come up with an excuse for you to regenerate again. So, and resurrection survival is
5 quid says he comes back with tentacles.
successful. I've never had anyone do that before.
That's
So, with a cough and a wild look,
Does he heal up? If not,
he does.
Okay.
You see, as his eyes flutter open, the wounds start to close. His skin is still covered in dried blood, but the wounds have knitted together. There's not even a scar.
This guy's probably like some kind of
Damn,
19th
you're
level.
dead.
Right?
Totally
However,
like
Praise be.
as soon
Lancelot.
Praise the gods.
as he draws a ragged breath and opens his eyes, he rolls off the table and his hand goes back like for a weapon and realizes he doesn't have it. And then he looks around for a second, takes a couple deep breaths.
You're safe.
You realize that in his youth, with about 40 less pounds, he probably was a warrior of some kind. But even resurrected, he's kind of old.
Oh, hello, I'm Darwin the Gentle. Welcome back.
Oh, you're the first
He
introduction.
reaches up for his neck and like,
You're fine. You've been healed. Gods be praised.
Why are you reaching for your neck?
He just had that chunk out.
Maybe he wants you to show.
It's all there. I'm Darwin the Reassuring.
he looks and starts to speak to his children in a very heavy version of the accented common until his daughter speaks back to him and he turns to you and shifts back to the trade language that you guys can understand and says, I understand. I understand I owe you with my thanks.
It is fine. I'm happy to assist. You have been through something awful, and you will require at least 3 days rest.
Show off!
He nods. He says, the symbol, where is it? His daughter hangs her head and says,
Your holy symbol.
the devil Strahd has taken it, Father. He says, we must have it back.
Why do we refer to him as the devil? What is devilish about this person?
The brother says, because those wolves come at his order.
How is that possible?
The dead that walk come at his order. He is some sort of vile sorcerer living in that castle.
Okay.
Well, there's one thing I don't like. It's vile sorcerers.
Sounds-
Vile is particularly
it sounds
low
like
on
he
my
could hire
list.
himself out to some frontier lord and make a handful of money, just sort of, chasing off all the wolves. Oh, it's too wolfy here. Let's get them all. You get out.
You know what?
Show him the letter before we check him out.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of business plans. All right, we had this letter. It claims to be in your hands, but it is not.
He
According
looks
to
at
your
it.
son, it is not from you.
No, this is not my hand.
Do you know who would have written this letter? Asking for help for her?
He says, I know the hand. He says, this was written by the herald that posts all of the decrees of the devil in the castle.